Hello, everyone. Hope everybody is having a wonderful day. It is Wednesday, the 23rd. We're halfway through the week, almost there. This week, we are back from spring break, and personally, I had some very well deserved rest. Anyways, here are some of the new Charlie XCX and some other tunes. Welcome back again to ATM, aka At the Moment. This is DJ Alex V. And you just heard Move Me from the new Charlie XCX album called Crash. It just came out last Friday. I've been listening to it like a lot since it came out. Crash is Charlie XCX's fifth studio album. I personally really like the project as a whole. It like samples some like really cool like iconic dance songs like Cry For You, and sometimes it has some cool catchy 80s sounding like beats. It has some synth pop, dream pop sounds that sometimes sound kind of mainstream or like commercial, but it's almost in like a self-aware, endearing way. I don't know, I like it. It can get like, I don't know, it's just like poppy, like, you know? Pitchfork magazine described it as a canny embrace of modern and vintage pop styles by one of its most sincere students, which very wordly I agree with, because it does have like a vintage sound with those like 80s beats, um, and it's like also very modern because it has some, those like hyper pop sort of sounds that Charlie has been very into lately, but this is more like in a more mainstream way. I don't know, something like that. Um, if you like how Crash sounds so far, I definitely recommend, especially because in spite of the crazy winds that we've been having lately, temperatures are beginning to rise, and Crash is perfect for a sunny spring day or even summer. I don't know, just for like hot, like it's just like fun, upbeat. It's good for that. Um, you also heard Crush by Ethel Kane, which is a single from her EP called Inbred. This is one of my favorite songs, like for sure, because I don't know, I love how passionate her voice sounds when she's singing because it kind of makes you feel the same things she's feeling. I don't know. I was obsessed with this track around summer 2021, and I listen to it whenever I want to go back. Does anyone else do the same thing? Like, where you kind of reserve specific songs for certain time periods so later on when you hear it, it will remind you of that time? I don't know. I personally, I enjoy listening to, specific sounds depending on the seasons. For example, like during winter, I prefer listening to more like rock, shoegazy kind of sound. Very sad, maybe. And during summer, I almost exclusively listen to very like upbeat pop indie type music. It's just like happy, like the sun is out, it's all good. It obviously aligns with like the themes of the seasons, but I don't know. It um it kind of works with, it has to do with like the things that uh, work with your senses, like taste, for example. Like it can bring nostalgia, like like in Ratatouille, um, when I don't remember the name. It was the critic, the food critic. He ate the ratatouille, and he was brought back to a time when he was a kid and he was eating his mom's food, and that's an example of that. It's just like your senses, being like bringing you back to a different time. Um, Maybe smell, like this might be like a very like personal experience and no one's relating, but sometimes when I'm like going on a walk or even just like at a random place, I will be like, it kind of smells like my cousin's house that I used to go to as a child, like all the time. The other day I was at my friend's house and I was like, it smells like my aunt's house. And she was like, what are you talking about? I was like, I don't know, it just like, it's giving me like nostalgia. It's so weird. And then it can also work kind of for like movies and shows. Like when you watch them, if you really like them and they're very like dear to your heart, um, you can kind of feel like you're back in that time when you saw them for the first time. That's why like I feel people have comfort shows. It's because it's to make them feel like they were back in that time when they felt like I don't know. I feel like people tend to romanticize like the past, so anything before the present is better than now, I guess. So it's just like, oh, the time I watched that show, like my life was so much better. I think a lot of people think that way, but yeah, the human brain is insane. But I feel like at least some people can relate, and yeah. Anyways, I tried to keep the sound consistent with today's songs, but we are going back on break where you'll be listening to some other tunes, maybe Kane Strang, Pom Pom Squad, and Magdalena Bay. Welcome back, everyone. That was Crying by Pom Pom Squad, Heavy by the Marias. Hope you guys like them. Actually, I have a funny story. So, last episode, I talked about how I went to go see Faye Webster in Houston, but we actually didn't realize. I went with my friends. We didn't realize that the Marias were gonna play there the same night. We got there like a couple hours early, like 4 hours early, because we really wanted to get Barricade. And we saw a long line, and we were like, wow, we really didn't get there like early enough. And then we realized like 30 minutes as we were in the line, everyone was like freaking out like at the beginning of the line. We were like, what's going on? And then everyone was like, it's Maria, it's Maria. And I was like, what? Who's Maria? Like, is it like a person of like Faye Webster's band or something? I was so confused. And then my friends were like, maybe we should go check it out. And I was like, okay, I'll like save the spot here. And they walked over, and then they took a long time, and everyone was freaking out. And I was like, what's going on? Like, who's Maria? Is it? I was so confused. And then they walked back, and then they were like, it's Maria from the Marias. And I was like, what are you talking about? And then we looked it up, and we realized that Maria was playing that night. And we were in the Marias' line, not Faye Webster's line. So we were like, oh my God, what if Faye Webster's line is like already long and everything? We're not going to get Barricade. We were like so sad. But then we walked out of the line, and we asked like someone from the staff, and they said that the line, like no one was in the line yet, so they made a new line for us, and we were the first people there. So that was pretty cool. I didn't get to see her, but my friends did. Everyone said she was really pretty, and she signed some like records and some T-shirts and stuff. So that was very nice of her to like go see the people out waiting in line. So I wanted to talk about how I like want to try to keep a like a musical theme every show, but it's really like I just want to share like the songs that I'm listening to right now, and that's actually where the name came from, ATM. At the moment, it's like the playlist I've always used where I switch songs in and out very often, so only like the stuff that I'm listening to at the moment is on it. So because I hate having to listen to like this album, that album. Like I like to have my playlist so I don't have to change the songs or whatever. So that's the playlist I used. And then when I was trying to think of a name to put on the show, I was like, what should I do? What should I do? I came up with some stuff, but I didn't like it. And then I was like, maybe I should look at my playlist names and take some inspiration from that. And then I saw ATM, and I was like, oh, that's a good one, because it can be like, you know, me sharing the stuff that I'm listening to at the moment, and stuff like that. So, yeah. Okay, now I'm going to play Make Out by The Greeting Committee, and some other songs. Hope you enjoy them. Hello, everyone. We are back from the break. Those songs were Make Out by The Green Committee, Creamsicle by Wumbo, Jackie by Ives Tumor, and Sword by Ian Sweet. Creamsicle by Wumbo was actually requested by my friend Carla. Shout out to her. I wanted to talk about the oh my god, asymptotical, I think that's it, World EP by Ives Tumor. Oh my god, that's kind of hard to read. It came out last year, July 22, 2021. It was the summer, but honestly, I didn't know it was out until very late last year. And I really like Ives Tumor, so I was really surprised to see that they had released something and I didn't know. So I was like, oh my god, I should listen to this. I really like it. Sonically, it's got some like goth rock, dream pop, shoegaze sort of sound. I like it because it's kind of upbeat and fast, but at the same time, it's kind of dark. Kind of hard to explain. Because like I don't know, I've Streamer like really likes genre bending. I like it when artists do that because it's kind of hard to pinpoint what like their sound is, and I feel like that's a hard thing to do, but it makes their sound very original, and it sets trends for like other people to follow it. I don't know. It's just like starting new sounds. I really wanted to try doing like a deep dive on artists every show, and because of Ives Tumor, I really wanted to check it out. Well, obviously, this album came out recently. Um, when was it? Breakout. Okay, so a couple of years ago, Gospel for a New Country, Kerosene, and some other singles like got really popular. I think it's maybe 2019. I'm not very sure, but they got really popular and they made Ice Streamer like really big. And I just like the sounds are so they're it's just so hard to explain. So like Heaven to a Tortured Mind. Pitchfork says it's an iconoclastic artist moves to a plush and magisterial kind of rock music for a gratifying and intense record, one whose pleasures are viscerally immediate. Actually, Heaven to a Tortured Mind, the album, I don't know, it's just like, I truly believe it was like one of the best albums of the decade. For sure, like one of the best albums of its year. It was released in 2020, so really good. But when you listen to it, it's like, I don't know if people know what I mean when I say Aurora Borealis. It's like the northern lights. That's what I like visualize when I'm listening to it. It's kind of like, or I can kind of feel it. I don't know if that's like a synesthesia sort of thing, but I don't know. It's like really cool because you can see the visuals and feel them with the music. And then, so you for sure, if you like how Ives Tumor sounds, you should for sure check them out. I saw some videos, like I got on my For You page on TikTok that they were going on tour, and I really want to see them because I feel like their live shows would be insane. Especially with this new like darker music, I feel like it would be really cool to see them live. But they're not touring like all over the U.S., so they're not coming anywhere close to Texas. It's mostly like around New York, probably East and West Coast, maybe a little bit of the Midwest, probably not, but maybe in some time, in some years, they will do like a bigger tour, and I would really love to see them. Okay, so we're going back on break, and we are listening to Back to Oz by Sufjan Stevens and Angelo D'Agostino, Scratch Card Lanyard by Dry Cleaning, and Baby Don't Cry by Sunflower Bean. Hope you guys enjoy. And that's a wrap for today's show. This is ATM, aka At the Moment. only on Vaquero Radio, the Valley Student Station, Wednesdays from 1:30 to 2:30. See you next time.